Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show.
Hola, bon dia, alegria, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. How are you today? Como está? Tudo bem? Mr. S is already here, keen to learn from Philomena, who will be with us a little bit later on after the Bon Dia Daily, which we're going to do right now and take a look at the news, the weather, a bit of Portuguese language and culture, which of course we'll pick up again when Philomena arrives, and the weather around Portugal this morning. Right, the news was something that Antonio F. shared with us. This was earlier on this week. 7th of January turned out to be, I believe, the 700th anniversary of the death of one of the great kings of Portugal, Dinis, who were found out last night from Gilda that he was indeed the inspiration for the naming of her son, Denise, as well. So King Dennis in English and Dom Dinis here in Portugal. And that's a great question, actually, from Mr. S about pronouncing the letter S, as in muitos anos or muitos anos. Yes, and Cascais, the classic. And Denise, we'll come back to that. That is a fantastic question. Keep them coming in the chat. Morning to you, Coach Turner, as well. And to T-Duck, who's just joined us as well with a Bon Dia Alegria Gumpers. That's how we greet each other here. How are you doing? Do let us know in the chat, if you will. And I'm going to go then and have a look at this 700th year anniversary of the death of the King Dinis and tell you a little bit more about him. The big news is that they have reconstructed his face. They've made I suppose it's a forensic act, is it not, of piecing together what he might have looked like. And I thought now the story's disappeared. Let me just search for this again. I'm sure I can find this. Museum staffers remove the glass as the. Oh, okay. There are all sorts of stories on this. This is great. I'm going to be going with Getty Images, I think, in this case. Oh yeah, which gives you a good shot of the face of King Dinis, Dom Dinis, as well. And you can buy it from Getty Images for a mere €475 in high resolution. But you'll get to see what I'm talking about here as I bring it onto the screen for you. So let me do that. And if you've got a request for which area of the country we'll take a look at when it comes to the weather, do let me know. We'll have to look at Coimbra, where of course, that's where Philomena will be joining us from this morning. Right, here we go. The Bon Dia Daily News, weather, culture, language, and a bit of well-being as well. Good morning to you, João Ernesto. Bon dia, Portugal. How you doing, John? And these staffers at a museum in Portugal, the presentation of the program to commemorate the 700th year anniversary of the death of Portugal's King Dinis, Dom Dinis, King Dennis. Odivelas, Portugal, January 7th. Museum staffers. Oh, this is good because I can do a reveal for you here. Museum staffers remove the glass case as Portuguese King Denis's face is on display after being unveiled, which is a little bit misleading straight away, isn't it? Let me just mute a moment. I've got a lump in my throat with this emotional unveiling and revealing to you of the face of King Dinis. And you might think it's like a Hannibal Lecter act of museum presentation, presenting the king's face. Please tell me it's a representation, a remodeling. It's not his actual face, is it? Although I think it has been constructed from his bones, which is a bit grisly. Sorry if you're having your breakfast. Anyway, it's on display after being unveiled during the presentation of the program to commemorate the 700th anniversary. And thanks to Antonio F. for pointing that out to us. What would we do without him? In the monastery of Saint Denis and Saint Bernard on January the 7th, a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, in Odivelas, Portugal, to mark the 700th anniversary of the death of King Dinis, Patrimonio Cultural organized an evocative ceremony whose highlight was the public presentation of the monarch's face, a facial reconstruction. There you go, facial reconstruction. That was the phrase I was looking for. Using 3D printing. There you go. You could do this too if you've got one of those, Mike? On secure data produced by the University of Liverpool. Yes. Somebody was saying that to me last night on what's now called the Town Hall at Expats Portugal on a Thursday night from 9 until 10. The Dream Team were there, of course. And who was it who said that a British university were involved? It might have been Daniel Reyes of President Pelicano. University of Liverpool in the UK, based on archaeological and anthropological studies carried out in recent years in the tomb and laboratory context. The photo here is by Horacio Villalobos. And I'm going to show it to you now, the version here from Getty Images and taken by Horacio Villalobos. Isn't that amazing? Which has led to very prosaically, this magnificent moment was captured by one reporter as big nose and blue eyes. Not very regal or monarchic, but there you go. Isn't that a fabulous unveiling there? And that's what you'll be able to see at the museum, I suspect, as the country celebrates one of its favourite kings there. Shall I read a little bit about him, which could be interesting to find out why exactly he's so popular here in the country. And the representations of him before, if you search for him, are pretty amazing. Denis of Portugal had a 46-year rule, which is pretty amazing, worked to reorganize his country's economy and gave an impetus to Portuguese agriculture. That's interesting. And I've got a great story for you on Monday, again from Antonio F. If you want to grow some beans, I think you'll be sent, if you get involved in a project called Increase, and this is a great memory of a resonance for King Denis, isn't it? If you want to be part of a agro biodiversity sustainability project, and you've even got just a balcony to grow these beans on, they will send them to you free. You'll be linked to an app, and you'll grow them, and you'll photograph them, and you'll take part, like King Denis did, to be a part of the evolution of Portuguese agriculture. More about that on Monday. He ordered the planting of a large pine forest that still exists today. Wow, near Leiria, to prevent the soil degradation that threatened the region and to serve, of course, as a source of raw materials for the construction of the royal ships. He was also known for his poetry. I think that's why he's sometimes known as the Poet King, which constitutes an important contribution to the development of Portuguese as a literary language. Isn't that amazing? 1290, Denis began to pursue the systematic centralization of royal power by imposing judicial reforms, decreeing Portuguese the official language of legal and judicial proceedings, creating the first university in Portugal. He was behind that, and ridding the military orders in the country of foreign influences. Very good. He encouraged the discovery and exploration of sulfur, silver, tin, and iron mines, and organized the export of excess production of agricultural crops, salt and salted fish, who knew, to England, Flanders, and France. And he signed the first Portuguese commercial agreement with England in 1308. Isn't that fantastic? Wonderful. So more about him. I know you can probably look up King Denis yourself on Wikipedia, but I'll just put that on there as a little aid memoir if you need it in the chat now. Very good. Okay, we've got more monarchic information coming in. Is that the right way to refer to it? Mr. S says, did the Dream Team show, was it on last night? If it was, I didn't get any notifications. Yes, there was notably a bit of a problem with that. And no, that wasn't who Blondie was singing about. Oh, King Denis. Oh, good morning, Mr. Munson. I'm a big fan. What is the secret to your beautiful skin? Have you had Botox? How very dare you? FD, who is he? Rings a bell, but I'm not entirely sure who that is. When are we going to see you back on this screen, Bondi, with your lovely complexion as well? I'm in the kitchen, as you can see here, Frank, and there are a number of Portuguese beauty products in here that I use. Butter, might talk about this. Slather that on, mate, and that'll keep you nice and shiny. So good that the girls will want to lick your face, or some of them will. And olive oil as well. That's what I recommend. Should be Denis. If it's not accented, Denis, well, we'll find out when Philomena joins us, won't we? Good morning from Gemini as well. And here you go. Did you know Philip I, Primero, Philip II, and Philip Terza were kings of Portugal who were members of the Habsburg dynasty? Philip I ruled Portugal from 1580 to 1598, and also known as Philip the Prudent. Philip II ruled. Sorry, I don't know why that's so funny to me. Ruled Portugal. Let's give each other king names, shall we? I'll be Carlos the Complexion. What do you want to choose, João de Norte? I mean, that's quite kingly in its own right. And Philip the Pious, wow, from prudent to pious, that's who you want at the controls. Ruled Spain from 1556 to 1598, and father of Philip III, who ruled Portugal. What was he called, apart from Philip III, until his death in 1621? Son of Philip II, married his cousin Margaret of Austria. Didn't distinguish himself as Philip the Magnificent or anything like that. We'll come back to more of your... Did you know? I love that. King Carlos of the Comb-Over. Piss off, Pete. Oh, sorry, did that come... Did that come out loud? Did I say that out loud? Right. Morning to you, Pete. Great to have you here. Thank you for your contributions throughout the week. And excellent material whilst we were doing our wine club on Monday evening. That was great fun, wasn't it? Celebrating the wine box. Snog, marry, or avoid. I think we basically said snog. Not to be avoided. Definitely not to be avoided. There's one behind me now next to the parsley on the countertop there. Probably not to be married, but definitely snogged from time to time. You look great, mate. Shaved look really suits you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. At 11 minutes past. Yes, I did. I just choked on my tea laughing there. Love to all. Frank, I hope we see you soon. All right, Jackie, when did you join us this morning? Early on. Oh, Bon dia Gumpers from a very frozen. I needed, no, not that one. I needed, where is it? That's right. Oh, Pete. Right. Sorry, a bit late on the button there. Unfortunately, Philip III was known as Philip the Tyrant and Philip the Oppressor. Oh, it was going so well, wasn't it? From prudentness, prudentiality to piousness, and then oppression and tyranny. Oh dear. Philip's come in threes in this country, ending with a tyranny and oppression, sadly. Good morning, Carl. I mean, that's the great arc of human life, isn't it? Power, absolute power, etc., etc. Good morning to you, Emma. Thank you so much for letting me stream your lovely Christmas gig, your impromptu Christmas gig. Lovely to see you at Christmas time. Great to see you on the screen here. How are you doing in the Algarve this morning? Right. Language and culture. I mean, we've kind of done it there, haven't we, with King Denise? And we'll return to that because Philomena will be joining us. I've got to look out for my peas as well. I think what I'll do now, before we have a look at the weather around the country, of course, plenty of language and culture this morning with Philomena. I did want to return to the Portugal Club and all those Portuguese sayings. I want to remind you that Antonio F. again has been busy furnishing us with the Portuguese saying of the day, which T-Duck started, of course, long ago. And then Antonio F. picked it up and ran with it. Currently, 487 comments in that thread. Most of them, it has to be said, are Portuguese sayings. It would be an amazing book one day. It really would. Can't we get AI to do that? There was a time when we were writing books, weren't we? Weren't we writing an erotic novel together? James, what happened to that? Bom dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta a todos, by the way. Com tempo passado. Thank you very much. Muito bem, obrigado. And how are you today? You've got a new Old Guy in Europe video out. If you're a subscriber, you will see that's the case. If you're not, why not? Hammer House of Horror Fog. That will turn you inside out here in the Cou de Judas. Yes, in Judas's backside, out there in the countryside of central Portugal. Fantastic. Right. Yes, a giggly morning. It's Feel Good Friday. We await the arrival of Philomena. Get those questions in. It's FAQs. Philomena answers questions. Heaven is here. Always interesting comments come from Heaven. I'm sorry. In case a rash event are occurred, I believe mixed thoughts do exist and happens. Well, yes, is that a bit of King Denise poetry there by any chance? Caroline Piper, hola, bon dia todos, bueno. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're in the middle of the Bon Dia Daily, where we do news, weather. We will do the weather, language, culture, and well-being. And I would like to put in your mind now a well-being project. We know, don't we? And we have poo-pooed. Talking of human well-being, apparently it's a late one this year. Monday, January the 20th. I think that's later than normal. Is Blue Monday, and we have poo-pooed, and we've also debunked that as a load of hooey. We're not standing for it. So I thought, well, okay, we're not going to do Blue Monday. What we could do is Red and Green Monday. Get rid of your Blue Monday, stick it where the sun don't shine in the Cou de Judas. And let's do our Red and Green Monday. So let's celebrate that. I'll say more about it in 10 days' time, or as we work our way towards it on the 20th of January. We're not standing for it. No Blue Mondays here. Thank you very much. Or what was that? That would be Segunda Azul here in Portugal, wouldn't it? And instead, we will have Vermelho e Verde Monday, Red and Green Monday. Tell us what's so great about life in Portugal, and where we're supposed to be miserable on the 20th of January, scientifically, sociologically, economically, financially, we will shout from the tops. Not that again. I thought you might like my reframe of it at least, James. We will be shouting from the rooftops, no, Blue Monday, get thee back. We're having a Red and Green Monday over here. So please send me your photographs. That's what old people say, isn't it? Photographs of why life is so great here in Portugal. I have got some examples of that, and I found these. And when I was talking to Heather on Monday, we chanced upon, didn't we, the Portuguese moment. Oh, Philomena, that orange juice looks lovely. Sumo laranja. She's having a big swig. Is there a vodka in there as well? Or just an aguardente? Right. Portuguese moments. Isn't it lovely when you suddenly realise, in a moment of stillness, which me and Mrs. M incidentally are doing every day at midday, the moment on New Reality TV now. We're really enjoying that. And thanks for your feedback, Tito. I really appreciate that. Heather on Tuesday was saying, yeah, I stood on my step looking out over the back garden. And the impression I got from Heather, that's not her, that's me and Mrs. M having one of our Portuguese moments. It's like, oh, that's why I'm here. This connects with Red and Green Monday. This is what's so cool about the choice we've made to live in this country. It's wonderful. And have a little Portuguese moment. It's quite subtle. It's very beautiful. There's one. I thought I must take a photo to illustrate this. That's me and Mrs. M. One of my favorite things, for sure, being in a Portuguese cafe. It was peeing down outside, the hubbub of the Portuguese people inside the cafe, a chicken pie, a galão, and an apple tart, and we just had a lovely little moment together in the cafe. And I realised I've been immortalising these 7 years ago, I think, 6-7 years ago. Often my Portuguese moments have a meia de leite e pastel de nata in them. There's one, Time Out Market, from some years back. And I think on the same day, if you've got images that to show the beauty of Portugal, even Trafaria and its industrial landscape there, so beautiful on the river there, taken from the Belém, maybe a bit further down by Caixa de Sodré, possibly. That's Trafaria on the other side. And just finally, a Belém sunset. Look at that. Isn't that? Uh-oh, I'm getting the finger. Head in hands. I'm not going to let her on because she's just going to tell me off. And and also, let's find out this morning. Let's put it to a vote. Do you think Philomena should run the show on her own this week or this month? Or should I actually stick around and be on the show with her? Let's go and look at some weather now. It was, Friday the 13th. What nonsense. No one believes in that. Actually, the last Friday the 13th was awful for me. And Philomena did a brilliant job of stepping in and presenting the show. So a couple of minutes of weather then, before she joins us. And hopefully she'll have forgotten about what she's going to tell me off about. I can see you, Philomena, disapproving at my pronunciation there. Right, let's add the weather to the stage. Foreign exchange as it should be. It's a Spartan FX weather, everybody. And let's go to Lisbon, where it's currently 14 degrees and misty. You've got a nice 18-degree mild high there, and the rain, it looks like it will hold off over the weekend. Cloudy weekend ahead for your bon fin de semana, and some sunshine returning on Monday. Double that and add 30. What's that? That's 28. You've got 58 in the Fahrenheit in Lisbon. Porto. I did that on purpose, Philomena. I know it's not Porto. 14 degrees, overcast with clouds. Raining in Porto for the next couple of days. Porto. And Coimbra, where Philomena is your district weather, 13 degrees. There'll be a microclimate, I'm sure, in Miranda de Corvo compared to the city. 16-degree high today, bit cloudy. Rain tomorrow, cloudy on Sunday, sunshine returning on Monday. And I think with my weather survey, it's 5 days of non-sunshine, 4 days of sunshine. Terrible time to start that survey. The no sun days have it at the moment at 5 versus 4. Yikes. Faro, 13 degrees with a few clouds and 17 the high today. It's going to be a sunny day in Faro. Get down there if you want some sunshine. Get down to the Algarve. Not for the weekend. No, it's going to be cloudy this weekend. Highs, however, of 20 and 19 respectively. And Braga, finally. In that video we played yesterday, I said Braga was in the northeast. That's immortalized on that video. Northwest, of course, of the country. 14 degrees at the moment, overcast with clouds. 14-degree high. It's not going to get any warmer there, and it's going to be a rainy day today and tomorrow with a little bit of sunshine peeking out from behind the clouds on Sunday and on Monday. We can come back to that weather if you want to, but no, let's not do that just yet. Let's play this instead.
Friday. I need to learn the language to put me at ease.
Ooh.
Friday. It's gonna take time learning Portuguese.
Sure is.
Friday. I get confused nearly every day. Friday.
On a Friday.
Verb is okay. Friday. Practice those words so loud and clear. Friday. On a Philomena Friday, it's a day of cheer.
Day of cheer! There she is. Philomena. Oh, it seems like only yesterday that I saw you. Oh. How are you? Tudo bem? Como estão?
Olá, bom dia, bom ano novo, feliz ano novo a todos.
Oh, igualmente. Muito obrigado for being here with us this morning. People eager to ask you questions. It's FAQs,
Yeah,
Philomena.
I have seen